Hello, welcome to the CSM Training video. During the course of this video, we will cover various topics about the duties and responsibilities of being a CSM. At the end of this video, you will take a long test about the content. Every incorrect answer will require a conversation with me to be sure that you fully understand. This training is required for all CSMs due to many reoccurring mistakes. Cheating on this test will result in loss of CSM privileges. This is to see what you know and what can be improved.
An online lottery ticket is a Powerball, a Go for 5, or any sort of ticket like that you print off of the terminal. The way that you sell one of these tickets at the register is you select Service Counter, Online Lottery Sales, and then type in the amount of the ticket that you are trying to sell. It is very important that you are accurate with your amounts that you are typing in. The next one is how to sell a scratch ticket. After you pull the scratch ticket out of the bin from below the service desk, the next step is to ring it up on the register. You hit Service Counter, Lottery Scratch Ticket Sale, and then type in the amount listed on top of the ticket. You can add all of the tickets in your hand together before typing in the total.
Oh no, we have to get a new one.
When you run out of a ticket pack, it is very important that you document it on the sheet. Find the ticket pack you ran out of, look how many tickets are supposed to be in the pack, and write the ending number on the sheet. You can now go into bookkeeping and get a new ticket pack. If you're busy at the service desk, ask the CSM to do so. Locate the ticket pack on the shelf, take it down, find the one you need, and grab the binder. You cannot take the ticket pack out of the bookkeeping office without writing it on the sheet in the binder. Find the right ticket pack. Make sure the numbers on the pack and on the sheet match, and initial and date under date removed from bookkeeping on the sheet. Once back at the service desk, write the new ticket on the bottom of the sheet. In this case, write Bold North in the name of the category. Then you'll want to write the ticket number next to the Bold North word on the sheet. Then you will want to write the beginning number, which is now 0, the amount that the ticket is for, and then the number of tickets that are in the pack. You can check the previous one to see if you're unsure. The final step is to activate the ticket at the terminal. Hit Pack Activation and then scan the back of the ticket. This is very important because none of the tickets will work unless they are activated. You can now place the activated ticket pack back in the bin and lock it. Canceling lottery tickets is done if you accidentally print the wrong ticket, if a customer decides they don't want it, or it cannot be sold during the day. It is very important to always try and sell tickets that you print by accident instead of canceling them. It is important to remember that Go for 5 and North Star tickets can be canceled in the terminal by hitting Cancel Lotto and then sliding it through the top of the machine. It is also important to remember to print a credit report so you can get credit for the ticket that you are trying to cancel. Follow the prompts on the sheet, fill out the date, your name, and then the explanation of the incident. At the bottom of the sheet, it lists all of the tickets that you have printed. Make sure you print this Cancel Lotto sheet in a timely fashion. It is important to dial the number on the lottery machine and tell them that you cannot sell the ticket so you can cancel it. The bulk of our problems that we are having at the service desk are with MoneyGram. We will now go over how to send a MoneyGram. Hand the customer the sheet and they will fill out the entire thing. First, they will write their name and address in the top section of the sheet. Make sure their name and address matches the one on their license, otherwise we cannot complete the transaction. Next, they will move to the section that asks how much money that they would like to send. They will then write where they would like to send the money. You cannot use the middle section. We do not send money to personal banks, only through the MoneyGram system. The bottom section is the most important. Here, they fill out the person's name, who they are sending the money to. It is very, very, very important that you are accurate with the spelling of the person's name. Otherwise, they will not be able to pick it up on the other end. When you move to the computer, you will go to the middle section and type in their last name and their phone number to see if you can look them up in the system. If they are in the system, great. You can just proceed through the prompts, but if they are not, you must enter the new customer's information accurately into the computer. It will ask for their first and last name. It will also ask for their address and license or passport number. If they do not have their license or passport and it asks you for it, you cannot send the MoneyGram. The next screen asks if they would like to receive notifications. I don't usually do this, so just hit none on both and proceed. This is the section that asks how much money they'd like to send. They would like to send $600. In the top box, type in $600 and then the destination that you would like it to go to. It will not always let you send it to certain places, saying that there is an error. If it does this, you'll have to tell them that we cannot complete their transaction and they need to call MoneyGram. Sometimes they'll change the location then. So I'll put in the new location and then hit continue. This page just talks about the service that they would like to choose. Always pick 10-minute service and hit next. It is asking you now to verify some information. It needs their license number again. Most of the time, it asks for this 2 or 3 times during the MoneyGram transaction. Type it in again and hit next. This is the most important screen. It is now asking for you to type in the receiver's name. If the person filling out the MoneyGram sheet writes a middle name on the sheet, you need to include that in the boxes when typing it in the computer. You want to put it exactly how the customer has it on the sheet. After you hit next, a separate receipt will print out. After you complete this necessary step as well, asking more questions about where the person is from. Now it will print out the extra receipt. Take it out of the thing, locate the section that says the receiver's name, and circle it or highlight it and give it to the customer to check. If the customer says that it is not spelled correctly, you must fix it. If you choose back and go through some of the prompts again, you will be able to fix the name spelling and then proceed. You cannot send it with the wrong name on it. After you have gotten to the point where you can fix their name, you can go ahead and proceed through to the section where it prints another receipt for them to check. Look at the new receipt and ask the customer if the name is now spelled correctly. If it is, you can go ahead and proceed to the register where you will ring it up under MoneyGram. The only way that you can send a MoneyGram is if the customer has cash. You cannot use a debit card to send a MoneyGram. It needs to be cash. type in the amount they give you. Do not pick the top one, and then send. You must also write it down on the sheet that is located on the clipboard next to the MoneyGram computer. It is very important for tracking purposes that we write this down. The second box includes the fee, so make sure you write that in as well. And the last box is the destination, so where it is going to. MoneyGram receive is when a customer is picking up money that someone else sent them. The sheet that you use is the one with the green bar across the top. The customer must fill this out with their name, their full address, the name of the sender, and also the amount that they are receiving. They will also include a reference number at the top of the sheet. Once the customer has it all filled out, you will be able to move over to the computer. You will then click MoneyGram Receive, type in your PIN, get the customer's ID, type their date of birth, and the reference number into the top. It is very important that you check to match that the customer's ID is the person who is picking it up, otherwise you cannot complete the transaction. Once you get all the way through, it will prompt you to then ring up the customer's receive money under MoneyGram Received and pay out the customer. They must then sign the sheet, the receipt that prints out, and then you will put it all together and keep it under the drawer of the register in 51, just like you do with MoneyGram. We cannot keep the sheets that are completed on the counter or in the pouch because they have sensitive customer information on them. They must be kept in the drawer. There are a few other forms that we keep in the MoneyGram container. The other form that we use is this blue one. This is the express payment form. The customer must fill out the top of the receipt, but they can also pay a bill or load a prepaid card with this sheet. You can do so by handing the sheet to the customer, having them fill it out, and then moving to the computer. You can select the one that says prepaid card, and then take their card and slide it through the keyboard, or you can select the category that says pay a bill. Most of the time, the customer has an account number that you can enter for easy transaction. When you ring this up, it is done under a MoneyGram. This section is about Floral 101. The first thing we are going to talk about is how to blow up a Mylar balloon. There are various other balloons in the cabinet, including number balloons, birthday balloons, anniversary balloons, so make sure you are looking through there if a customer is asking for something that we don't have on the floor. The next step is to take the balloon out of the packaging and unfold it. To blow up a Mylar balloon, you use the attachment that hangs off of the tank. You then insert it into the bottom of the balloon, and if it doesn't blow up right away, make sure to wiggle it around so that it starts blowing up. Once it is completely blown up, detach it from the tank and tie a string on it before letting it go. Otherwise, it will obviously float away. Tie the string around the bottom, usually in a double knot so it doesn't float away, and then curl the ribbon either with your finger or a scissors. You can then use the thing on top of the ribbon to cut the string and let go. Blowing up a latex balloon is a little different. The balloons are now kept in the countertop next to the ribbon. You must fill the balloons with high float before blowing them up. You do not want to use too much high float though. This is an example of using too much. You just want to use not even a half pump, just a little bit in the bottom of the balloon, otherwise it will be too heavy and it will not float. To blow up a latex balloon, you use the top of the tank, put the bottom of the balloon over the top, push down until the balloon starts to inflate. Blow it up decently big so it looks normal balloon size, and tie it shut using your fingers. If it has the correct amount of high float in it, it will float. If not, it will obviously sink to the ground. You want to make sure, just like anything else, to tie the balloons to the string before you let them go in the cage above. Otherwise, it's very hard to get them down. There's the string, and then you can let it go into the cage once it's tied onto the string. When taking a floral order, it is very important that you do not let customers order flowers if you don't understand what you're talking about. Flowers are something that can be occasionally hard to get in, so make sure if you're taking a floral order for somebody ordering an arrangement or a special flower that you talk to Steph or take the order on a piece of paper and tell the customer you will have the floral lead call her immediately. If you are to take a floral order, do not take it on a sticky note. Use a nice floral order sheet. Write today's date, the order taken by, your name, in case we have questions about it, the pickup date that they are going to come and get it, and also make sure you include the pickup time so we can have it ready for them when they arrive. You want to include the customer's name, so make sure that you write it down accurately so we can read it. You do not need their address, so you can go ahead and cross that out or just not fill it in. You do need their phone number, however, so make sure you write that legibly, so if we have questions about their order, we can call the customer to make sure that they get exactly what they want. Then, write a clear description of what they are ordering. If they are ordering balloons for very early in the morning, make sure you touch base with a bookkeeper or someone that will be there very early. Otherwise, their balloons will not get blown up. You want to also make sure that you ask them if they would like a weight or a clip attached to their balloons. If it is cold in the winter, make sure you are putting their balloons in a garbage bag before you are sending them out the door, because they will deflate fast in the cold if not covered up in a garbage bag. Take the completed floral order form and put it in the customer order folder that is located at the floral department. Put it in the incomplete order side, and then Steph will see it next time she comes in. Sometimes you have to resume a transaction using the pick list if someone loses the receipt or you are trying to gather it without using the suspended transaction receipt. Doing so is very simple. To resume a transaction using the register, hit Transaction menu, Resume Transaction, and Suspend Trans Pick List, and choose from the ones that are listed. When you find the one you want, hit Enter, and it will resume the transaction on the register. Dunbar is the company that comes to pick up our money from our bookkeeping office. If they arrive and a bookkeeper is there, it is no problem. They can knock on the door and the bookkeeper will let them right in. However, if the bookkeeper has gone home for the day, you must get either a store director, an MOD, or anyone else that is a manager of sorts in the store to let them in. You cannot let them in if you are a CSM.
Hello, is your manager here?
Yep, I'll get them.
Thank you.
Let me let you in.
Thank you.
Ringing up a vendor payment can be difficult if you don't understand what you are doing. When you get the vendor payment, go to the MoneyGram computer and click Vendor Payment. Log yourself in, and then match the company name to the name on the computer. Click it, hit Next, and then type the amount that is on the vendor payment. It should be in two places, sometimes on the top, and then sometimes on a red stamp that is located near the bottom. Type in the amount, and then hit Next. If it is over $3,000, it will prompt you to type in a PIN, which is located on top of the keyboard. Once the PIN is typed in, if you hit Next, Next, Print, a money order will come out of the MoneyGram machine. Rip the money order in half so that you keep the receipt and the check will go to the vendor. Tape the receipt to a sheet of paper if the money vendor payment looks like that. If it looks like this and it is a full sheet, just tape it right on top of the full sheet. You will then need to complete a paid out form. Go under the service desk and grab a paid out form and complete it. Once you have completed the paid out form, you are ready to ring it up at the register. Once at the register, type in the vendor payment PLU 97699. Type in the amount that the vendor payment is for and hit enter. It may prompt you for an override. After you do this, you will select Service Counter and then Money Order, not MoneyGram, Money Order, so you can pay out the vendor. Once you have done that, you will hit Cash and type in 0. The total should now be 0. It may prompt you to override one more time or to fill out a SIF form. The register will tell you to fill out a SIF vendor form if the vendor payment is for a certain amount of money. Grab the SIF vendor form and write your name at the top. Your last name, your middle initial, and your first name should be completed on this sheet. Then at the bottom of the sheet, you will write the MoneyGram number found on the bottom of the small receipt that you taped to the paper. You will write that in the box. Along with the date of the transaction and the dollar amount. If there is more than one, you will tally up the amounts and write the total at the bottom of the sheet. After this is completed, pile all of the papers up nicely with the paid out form and the receipt from the register and fold them and put them in the red pouch. Do not staple them together. The store supply log is very important to track the amount of stuff we are taking. Open the store supply log and write down whatever item you are charging to the store. The only things you can charge to the store are plates, Kleenexes, or anything that we might need. Do not charge utensils to the store or anything like that because we have forks and spoons that can be taken out of the deli, and we also have batteries upstairs as well as office supplies. You cannot charge office supplies to the store. As the CSM, you are the front-end manager. You are responsible for taking charge of the cashiers. If they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing, you need to let them know, to the best of your ability. Cashiers should not be bringing anything other than water to their registers with them. You can bring your cell phone if you keep it in your pocket and do not let any customers or any other employees see it during your shift. Water is allowed, but no other snacks. Most of the time, a yellow slip is filled out if someone calls in on the front end. The only person who should be filling out yellow slips for people calling in is the MOD. You cannot take call-ins as a CSM. However, if someone is leaving early or is late, it must be documented on a yellow sheet by the CSM. The only person who should check absent is if it is the MOD and someone is calling in. Then you would write the manager who received the name and the time. Only do this if the MOD asks you to. However, if someone is late, you can take it upon yourself to fill out the sheet. You would check the box that says tardy, give the reason that they were late, and what time they showed up to the register. If they're leaving early, you can circle with or without permission if they are sick or if someone let them leave early, and you can turn it into the white box.
It's a serious job. Making sure you take charge during your shift is important to keep the front end running smoothly. Please take the time to take the CSM review test and turn it into me ASAP. Remember to always ask questions when you don't understand and to take your time at the service desk. Thank you.